Welcome to Insightful Gaming. Today, we'll be discussing one of my favorite Titan builds that centers around the mighty exotic Mask of the Quiet One. This exotic is a game changer that turns Titans into an unstoppable force. The Void Titan is particularly powerful and unbeatable due to its ability to tank infinitely, generate overshields, insane self-heals, and deal massive damage. The build also boasts excellent synergy between abilities, allowing us to regenerate energy for other abilities. It's perfect for tough PvE content, especially in the contest mode raid or in Masters and Grandmasters. And if that wasn't enough, we'll also boost our weapon damage for even more destruction. If you find this build helpful and exciting, please like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more great gaming content. Let's dive in. Thanks to the updated armor mod system, any class can get a great ability regeneration, which means we can get our ability, melee, and grenade energy by picking up orbs of power. Moreover, we can now synergize our abilities better, which wasn't possible before. In my opinion, this build is just as strong, if not stronger, than before. With this build, you'll be generating orbs of power left and right, which will give energy directly back to your abilities and also give you armor charge. The Devour and Volatile Rounds abilities will give energy back to your grenade on kill, and additional mod Fragments make your grenade energy return energy to your melee and class item. However, I want to be clear that this build isn't foolproof, and it may not work for everyone's playstyle. It's always important to experiment with different builds and mods to find what works best for you. Nonetheless, this build offers a lot of potential, and I hope you find it useful in your Destiny 2 journey. And as always, I'm open to feedback and suggestions to improve this build, so feel free to leave a comment below. Let's talk about one of the main components of this build, the Mask of the Quiet One exotic helmet. This powerful piece of exotic grants you ability energy when you take damage, and when you're critically wounded, you'll regain maximum health on kills. It also heals you 70 HP on kill if you're critical, and generates 5% of your class, grenade, and melee energy every time you take damage. While this exotic may not sound as impressive on paper, when you actually use it in this build, you'll feel much tankier and capable of surviving even the toughest encounters. In my personal experience, there were countless times where I thought I was a goner. The Mask of the Quiet One kept me alive and fighting. While I can't quite put my finger on what makes this exotic feel so powerful, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. The secret ingredient to this build is Ward of Dawn, which creates an indestructible dome to protect you and your allies. Not only will you be protected, but passing through Ward of Dawn will also grant a temporary boost to weapon damage and overshields for you and your team. This super is a game changer, and with the amount of orbs we will be generating, you can keep activating it fairly often to keep the area protected. For the grenade, we've got the Vortex Grenade, one of the best grenades in the game, perfect for making enemies volatile. You can use whatever grenade you want, it doesn't really matter. We're also using the Rally Barricade for increased reload speed, stability, and lower cooldown. I recommend Rally Barricade for this build as it has a 10-second faster cooldown. This also means every 10 seconds, you will be able to generate your grenade and melee energy thanks to our armor mods. So in this example, always make sure that you are not capped on your grenade and melee before using your barricade in this instance. For movement, we're using Strafe Lift, but feel free to choose your preferred movement ability. And finally, our melee of choice is Shield Throw, which offers a ranged option and provides overshields when used on targets far away. For your primary weapon, the Funnel Web is a great choice, but really, any Void primary or secondary will do just fine. I personally like to use the Funnel Web with Subsistence, but the build doesn't require a strong primary weapon. And for your secondary, the choice is yours. That's the beauty of this build, you can adapt your loadout to fit any nightfall or situation. Next up, for your attributes, go with 100 Resilience and focus on Discipline for your grenades. Let's dive into the aspects of this Void subclass build. First up, we have Controlled Demolition. This aspect is a game changer. Not only does it allow us to chain volatile explosions, but enemies hit by the explosion become volatile too, which can then spread to other enemies. Plus, killing volatile enemies grants health to nearby allies. Next, Offensive Bulwark is going to increase our grenade regen when we have an overshield while inside the Ward of Dawn. Even using our throwing shield will give us an overshield, so we can get our grenade back quicker that way too. Also in this build, we are focusing a lot on getting our shield throw quickly, so you will always be able to get an overshield when you need it. Now onto the Fragments, everything here builds into regen. Echo of Starvation gives us Devour on orb pickup or Void breaches. This then gives us grenade energy on kill, along with full health and overshields on shield throws. Echo of Undermining is another fragment that weakens enemies with our grenades, giving us a solid 15 boost in grenade damage. Echo of Provision gives us melee energy back on grenade damage, which is crucial for our full ability rotation. And lastly, Echo of Cessation is brand new. It allows us to spawn and void breaches whenever we defeat a volatile target. These breaches give us class ability energy on pickup, which can be a real lifesaver in the heat of battle. In this build, we are focusing on maximizing our energy generation and increased weapon damage. Let's start with the helmet, where we're using the Discipline mod to reach a total of 100, but I am not there yet. This is a personal preference, so adjust as needed. Next, we have 2 Void Siphon mods to generate orbs of power when we get weapon final blows. These orbs will come in handy for our mods that give us grenade, melee, and class ability energy. We're also using Heavy Ammo Finder to make sure we have enough ammo during combat. Moving on to the gauntlets, we have the Resilience mod to reach a total of 100 resilience. Bolstering Detonation is our next mod, which gives us class ability energy whenever we do damage with a grenade. Our goal is to make sure all of our abilities give energy to each other for maximum synergy. Firepower is another mod we're using to generate orbs of power on grenade final blows. These orbs will help us replenish our shield throw, grenade, and barricade. Lastly, we're using Melee Kickstarter, which gives us melee energy when we use up all our grenade energy. This will also consume one of our armor charges, which is not a problem since we'll be generating a lot of armor charges in this build. On the chest piece, we have 2 charged up mods to increase our armor charge stacks by 2. We'll be converting these armor charges into melee and class ability energy, but you can convert them into whatever type of energy you prefer. We're also using Void Reserves since we're running with Void weapons, but you can use any mod you prefer in this flex spot. Our legs are equipped with the Innervation mod, which reduces our grenade cooldown each time we pick up an orb of power. Since we'll be picking up a lot of orbs in this build, this mod is incredibly useful. In the previous season, we used the Font of Might mod, but now we have something even better, the Void Weapon Surge mods. Not only does it replace the Font of Might mod, but it also allows us to maintain the damage buff at all times. This build is so effective that we'll be generating orbs constantly and never lose the buff. But we're not done yet. Let's move on to our final piece of armor. Finally, on our mark, we have 2 Outreach mods which reduce our melee cooldown whenever we use our class ability. This will help us always have our melee shield throw available, which grants us an overshield when thrown at an enemy. With this build, we're also getting the best parts of Bastion Aspect. We're also using Utility Kickstart, which gives us class ability energy when we use up all our class ability energy. This will consume one of our armor charges, which we'll be generating a lot of with our charged up mods. With all of these mods working together, we'll be generating a ton of energy and always be ready for any combat situation. Overall, this build has great synergy between all the mods, aspects, and fragments, and is designed to maximize our performance in tough PvE content like Masters and Grandmasters, but in your time, this will be an amazing build for this week's contest mode raid. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting builds and gaming content.